of my favorite people of all time are from Brooklyn. Jay-Z, Spike Lee, my Uncle Joel, Mel Brooks, the Beastie Boys, Lou Reed, ODB. Now, I'm not from Brooklyn, but this is my story. Once upon a time in the Bay, there was nothing left to say, so I had to get away. I'd been sitting all up in DeVos Park with Lenark on my mind like Alistair Gray, feeling strangely fine, 26 years old. At a crossroads, was it time for grad school or time for more shows? Time to rock my thesis or write more songs? Time to call it quits when I've been doing this so long? I couldn't decide, so I made an EP with a rapper named K-Flay that opened for me. I helped her get discovered and on tour.
What's up, I'm MC Lars.
And I'm Weird Science.
And we're on speakersblown.com.
Yeah.
Juicy book decoded and I noticed something funny. You gotta grind and hustle if you
Awesome. New audience, new flavor. It's great. It's my first Warped Tour. It's Science's fourth.
I've done it as this is my first one as an MC though. I've done it as the drummer of Coheed and Cambria, and last year I did it with my band Terrible Things that I also play drums in, and they're also on it this year. So I do 2 shows a day. So I definitely have experience with Warped Tour, and it's been.
Have you been singing the right?
Well, there's nothing. This guy knows the road, you know. Warped Tour is definitely a thing unto its own, but thank God we have a really great tour manager, Mike Russo, who also plays in the band. But he just, is busting his hump all day to make sure things are, lined up properly and all that stuff. And other than that, your job's to get up there and try to be great and try to win fans, and that's what Warped Tour's provided that opportunity for us. So, and it couldn't be going better.
I once had a friend who meant everything to me, and our friendship was quite special.
Get up at like 8-ish, 9 sometimes.
9 sleeping in, but sometimes you just can't peel yourself out of bed. But we wake up and we hang up posters. And
we write the time when we play, and we try to put them every place when kids come in. So we try to put up like 100 a day. Okay. Then I go down the line and try to give out like a few hundred note cards that say the dates, and when we're playing, we write on all of them.
Yep.
So while I'm doing that, and I got the megaphone, so I'm rapping to people, Science and John are taping posters everywhere.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and it's a big setup. We have this huge tent. It looks awesome. It's like this big purple tent. I don't know if you guys saw it.
Yeah,
Lars has this big alien that he drew on it. It looks amazing. But just, that's the typical day. By 10 a.m., we're all sweating and, have put in work. But I once you get used to it, it's nice. It's like a cup of coffee. And they always have coffee on Warped Tour, too. So you can actually have a cup of coffee. I'm from New York.
Yeah, that's it.
Coffee. I love my coffee. I had to say the word coffee, right? Coffee.
Coffee. How do you say it in England?
Coffee.
How do you say it in Canada?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Like coffee. Coffee. Chocolate.
This was not about you spending time in the forest. This has been about me providing.
Well, there's more than one headliner on Warped Tour.
Okay, for one stage.
One stage. Who would headline it?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You want to?
I would have Weird Al headlining, Karis won't support him. That's me. But
it's a good answer. I would have Devil Wears Prada headline like they are on this Warped Tour. Yeah. They're one of the headliners. No, I don't know. I would have Led Zeppelin headline, and Wu-Tang Clan would do main support. Some of the dudes from the Wu-Tang Clan would sit in with Led Zeppelin.
Ooh. Stump. At least leave a stump.
It's a great question. I'll tell you, in the first couple of days when I saw Devil Wears Prada, I just really was blown away. These guys are probably sick of hearing about it, but they just melted my face. I got it. They were so good. I've definitely seen a lot of stuff that I wouldn't have normally seen and been into, like Pepper. I was already a big Lion Eyes fan, but they're great. Greaves and Budo is so awesome to see, and I'm a huge fan of Greaves and Budo. I love their show. I don't know, the list goes on. There's a lot of cool stuff. I don't know, Lars, anybody you want to
I saw Yellow Wolf today for the first time. I'd seen him before, but he's killing it. Eminem just signed him, and he's doing awesomely.
Oh, cool.
And he rocked it. Big B's great. He's a rapper on our stage too. Les and Jake are awesome. I saw Paramore yesterday. They're always amazing.
I got to see them today, yeah.
Now I'm back, and I can barely walk, and I can barely talk. And
we set up the banner, which is always a...
That's become a ritual, right? We set up the banner.
It involves a lot of screws, a lot of like levers.
Like the scrim thing.
Yeah, the scrim. And the feet need to be screwed on well. We need to put sandbags on it because it's so windy. Like, that's a 5-minute fun, like, hey, how you doing thing. I like to meditate. I like to like focus and like...
Like proper meditation?
Yeah, like just take a minute, get away from everyone and just like clear my mind. And focus and be like, okay, this is what I'm doing it. I'm on Warped Tour. I'm gonna rock it. One of my favorite rappers ever. This guy. We got great songs, a great band. I try to clear my head because there's so much chaotic noise, from, like literally and figuratively, that gets in your head.
Okay.
So you have to like close your mind and be like, all right, this is why I'm here, and like it's kind of spiritual. You know what I mean? That's how I get ready.
Yeah, I think both of us, our pre-show ritual is a little bit more internal than external. There's not like one thing that we do, a certain handshake, but you know, everybody's getting in the mode. You can see there's 10 minutes left before we go on, and everybody does their thing. And I know Lars, you know, once we get the banner set up, is off, you know, preparing. And I like to do that too. I kind of try to stretch my throat and just get ready up here more than any kind of physical thing. So, which I think is a piece of what Lars was saying.
This track is fly, so get crunked up and don't ask why. Post rap, post punk, post Kurt Cobain.
Let's describe each other's music. How's that?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, cool.
Weird Science is dark, very lyrical, very well produced, very musical, very personal, intense, fast rapping, hip hop from upstate New York.
But I'd say in general, MC Lars is something you've never heard before. And that's what I thought the first time I heard MC Lars. I thought, I've literally never heard this before. And it's really cool, you know, to be on tour with him now. I heard his music before I knew him, so, but if I had to sum it up, I'd say MC Lars, it's hip hop with a respect for the culture, but definitely something new that nobody's ever heard before. And if you like hip hop and things that are clever, that take a brain power, then you should check out MC Lars and Weird Science.
Different styles coming together.
That's fresh, so that's fresh, get fresh. So that's fresh,
Lars
get
Weerd,
fresh.
you know, I did it all independently, so it's the first album where I'm not really focusing on the pop culture stuff. It's more about the internal spiritual journey of how hip hop has kind of had my back for 8 years, and how I see it continuing to have a good relationship with me, and how, you know, I believe in God, and I believe that you find God in hip hop, and it's like a metaphor for humanity's maximum potential. And so the album is a dialogue about dealing with all the dark things that tell you that that's not the case. And when I convinced myself and figured out that fact is true, it really got me through a lot. And the album just kind of paints that picture. And a lot of the stories are metaphors that explain that. Like the Giving Tree with Mac Lethal, the tree is a metaphor for hip hop and how it's given so much life to so many people. And, you know, it's just an album about finding myself and being independent for the first time ever from all the labels and everything. And that's what it's about. Lars attacks with the truth, and Lars attacks with confidence and eternal strength. So that's the theme of that record.
Cool.
My newest record, my second full-length record, Sick Kids, is about, you know, it's very dark, but I think it's about, not all records have to have a running theme, and I guess the running theme in Sick Kids is that it kind of chronicles, in a sense, my drug addiction, under which I was addicted to drugs for many years. And I actually wrote and recorded this record, you know, still using, and I thought that, you know, I don't know if it occurred to me at the time, maybe during the first few songs, but it certainly occurred to me along the way that it would be, if I ever did clean up, it would be a really interesting kind of thing that I can sit here now sober and clean and say this was a record about that time, even songs that aren't specifically about that. It's still a guy, I mean, I was on drugs when I made it, so there's a dark theme, and it's just, you know, it's a really personal record. It really means the world to me. I definitely feel, you know, I've been a part of a lot of records, whether as a drummer or, you know, even as a keyboard player or singing on certain records or whatever, that this is really like the culmination of like my entire career. Like it all led up to this, and it's a record I'm really proud of. Like I've never been proud of any other record, and it's kind of hard to put my finger on one theme, but I get, you know, it's about the darkness of drug addiction, and that's it. That's what it's about.
Who's that rapping at my chamber door? Mr. Raven, all up in my grill like nevermore.
Broken Side, maybe, but they're actually kind of awesome. So I would.
It always depends on who's looking. If you got like some indie hipster guy looking at my iPod, I'd be embarrassed that Linkin Park was in there. But if I had like some kind of mainstream, like normal guy that listens to like what comes on the radio, I'd be embarrassed that I have like the Saved by the Bell songs with that from Zack Attack.
Is it Broken Side, but maybe Avril Lavigne?
Okay.
There you go. It's on my iPod too, buddy. Yeah. I have a lot of like mainstream stuff. I like to dissect pop. You know, and like I love that Avril Lavigne single from this newest record, the What the Hell song.
I haven't heard it.
All my life I've been good, but now I'm thinking what the hell. But it's almost like so performed, like it's like he did the line on the keyboard, doodle 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 doodle, but it's way high.
That's
awesome song.
While I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping up like what's
Well, me, I would have said, don't worry about like being impatient. I feel like when I started, there was a period when I was like, man, all these Gym Class Heroes, 303, these bands that I've done festivals with and toured with, they're huge. Like, what's up? Like, what? But I would have told myself just to relax and make music I believed in. I feel like I made a lot of songs to try to reach that fame that I'm really not proud of. Like some of the songs from Robot Kills and some of the.
What song?
I don't know. I mean, Guitar Hero Hero. Like a lot of songs that I don't feel were really that I don't play now and I'm not proud of because I did them to calculate to try to hit some sort of mass market. I would have told myself to slow down and relax and breathe and just make the music I believe in because indie DIY success, the stuff that lasts forever that you can't have taken away from you, comes from when you make art you believe in and you don't worry about how the machine's going to propel you to where your tour mates have gotten. So if I could go back to the 22-year-old, 21-year-old MC Lars who had just started, I would have said, just do it because you love it and build your team and people who are down for you will be down for you forever. And so shout outs to them and you know what I mean? Don't stress. Who cares who's selling a million records because next week they might not be. As long as you're making art you believe in and you're able to not have a day job, you're a success. So
There's not a person in the world that's not trying to sell his art on some level. Cage said that, the rapper Cage said that in an interview, and I thought it's true. So maybe, but as long as you believe in it, I think that's like the ultimate thing. And I know I believe in my art, so if it doesn't sell a million copies, that doesn't make me depressed. Like, for every fan I have, I'm focused on that fan, not the million that I don't,
Actually.
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's go to China.
China, yes. I've never been to China. I've traveled the whole world. Never been to China. Always wanted to go. Always was like about to go. There was always something on the horizon with China, and it never panned out. So I'm going to China. I'm really excited about that.
Is it like a tour or a festival?
We're doing a couple festival shows. We're Weird Scientists, but my band Terrible Things goes to Australia right after Warped. And there's some other things in the pipeline. We're going to do like a New York City show. We're going to do a Cleveland show. Probably in August, right before Australia, so after Warped ends. But just lots of stuff's in the pipeline. More records and definitely not taking any time off. And that's what's up for Weird Science. How about you, Lars? I know you got a lot cooking.
I'm going out for 2 months with MC Chris to promote my album Lars Attacks, which
In America?
which comes out.
In Canada?
Probably not Canada, but Canada's awesome. If people want to book me, I'll definitely go.
Yeah, I love Canada.
If you want to hook us up with tours, we'll be here. We love Canada. I just think we need to get on a big support slot, you know what I mean, or something, because it's like breaking an international market. It's a challenge, but I'm down to do in Canada. If you're down, let's do it here. I'm doing a literature album, and I'm also working on a kids hip-hop TV show. So that's all like within the year.
Like, you're going to be like a presenter?
That's the dream, yeah, to build that up. That's still in the
so
brainstorm
cool.
session. And then I'm doing a concept art record with Mike Russo called Guitar Strings and Smiles. That's my guitar player.
We got EAP in the house
He's also a
tonight.
tour manager.
America's most romantic love poet. We're taking this back, way back. 1849 style. Hip hop? Nah, this is lit hop. It was many and many a year ago when a kingdom by the sea, it's true, that a maiden there lived whom you may know by the name of Annabelle Lee. And this maiden, she lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me. But the angels got jealous, they took my queen. Now she's gone and I can barely sleep. But her mortality makes her high, all up in the malt shop, her favorite spot. I got so lost in a bright green eye, so tell me why the love of my life had to die.
Yo, film Mike, yo, film Mike. Yo, sorry.